Okay, real quick, I just want to say two things at the top of this video. One, if you didn't know, I started a second channel, which I'm super excited about. I'll throw a card up here somewhere. It's called Ode to the Matthews. It's just another type of content that I like to make, a little bit more humorous and very different from the content on this channel. So if you're interested in that, please check it out. We'd love the support over there. And two, this video is sponsored by Western Rise, so stay to the end of the video if you want to get 15% off your order. And I also want to say thank you to Alpaca for sending me this tech case that we're about to talk about. I am an affiliate and there is a link down below. Feel free to use that if you would like. Just want to put that out there. This was sent to me and I have an affiliate with this company, but this is still going to be my honest and thorough opinion on what I think about this. We're holding no punches, but spoiler alert, this one's pretty good. So check it out. Thank you very much. I'll see you later. Okay, a little bit ago, I made a video talking about some of my favorite pouches for EDC and travel in the tech kit realm. And one of the ones that made the list is this one from Alpaca, the Elements tech case. And though this one is pretty solid, made from X-Pack material, YKK zippers, weather guard, and a lot more, one of the things that I personally couldn't get the most use out of was the storage and organization. It was just kind of too small for the gear that I bring, and though it had a lot of organization and like pockets in here, utilizing all of them left it feeling overstuffed and overcrowded. So when Alpaca reached out to me to review this, which is the Elements Tech Case Max, I was very excited because this was basically the answer to all the problems that I had. So with all of that being said, let's get into it. Okay, so like the regular Elements tech case, but for the sake of this, we're just gonna call this one the Elements Max and the other one just Elements because it's a mouthful. This does come in an X-Pack material, but if you get it in the Army Green, which is this one here, or the black, then you can get it in a Poly 600D material, which I really like. It has a great touch to it, and though I am a fan of X-Pack, I do prefer material like this just because it has some texture to it, and I just really like the way it looks because you can really see the texture in it as well. And much like the other one before it, we also have the wonderful weather guard zips, which are fantastic if for any reason, shape, or form you might end up getting caught in a rainstorm with this thing out. You have that. On top of it, you have lockable YKK zippers, which I absolutely love because they do a really good job, which is nice because these actually have a zipper pulls, which is a step up from the regular Elements, which didn't have any zipper pulls, and these, like in Alpaca fashion, are really solid and I am also a big fan of. And as for the inside material, it is a 200D ripstop nylon, which is really great and I think does a good job of holding up. Again, when it comes to both the interior and exterior of this bag, you're gonna be in good shape and it's made very, very well and also extremely durable. Now, a couple other bonus things that you get with the Max version. For one, you get a nice little, though it be seatbelt material handle at the top, which is great if you want to carry this around, or for me, when you're putting it in and out of your bag, it makes it exceptionally easier to grab it, rip it and grip it and find where it's at. You also have a ring here on the back, which is a hook. This can work in conjunction with the fact that there are 4 lash points on the back of this, and it actually comes with a strap. So, and one of the things that I like to do in tech cases like this, if you were going somewhere on a trip and you need to bring a tech kit, but when you got to where you're going, you also needed, say, a small day sling, but most of the items you'd put in that sling would go in this kit anyways, then you have the ability to take this strap it when you get to where you're going, and then you have made yourself a sling at no extra space and no extra cost to your loadout. Now for me, I like to personally keep that strap in this front compartment here, which again, weather guard zip, YKK zipper with zipper pull, and it's nice because I can just put the strap that they give you with this in there and then it's always with me, because I'll be honest, using something like this, I might want to strap this on it, whether it be to hang it up so I can see what's inside or just have better access at wherever I'm working, or to carry it like a sling and make sure I have full availability for all of my tech gear, no matter where I am or what I'm doing. Now, with this being in the front compartment, that is pretty much all I personally have, but it is not a bad front compartment, just big enough to get my hand in there. A little bit of depth, not a lot of dimension, but a good one for flat, smaller items. Some of you might even prefer to put something like headphones, like these AirPod Pros in there, and maybe your keys in your wallet, which would be a phenomenal idea. For me personally, when I'm using a tech kit, my headphones don't usually go in it. I like to have them more accessible. Maybe my backup pair of headphones, like my Raycons, might go in there, but for the most part, my headphones stay readily accessible because I want to wear them a lot. But this front compartment does work really well for thin wallets, keys, headphones, and the such. So after that, you basically just have the main compartment, which is full of wonderful organization. Now, I do have a couple small minor complaints about the interior, but overall, much like the Rush Faster Tech Kit, the Modern Day Fair Tech Kit, and even the Wandered Tech Kit, this is one of the very few that I have tried, tested, and used that I'm actually impressed with because it feels like there is more thought behind some of the organization. Now, again, when it comes to tech kits, they can be a little subjective because everybody's gonna bring a little something different. Now, when I say that this is one of the ones that I personally really like, it's because all the items that I bring, which you're gonna see here in a second, fit in here really well. And for me, that is extremely important because it does a good job of accommodating my needs. I believe this could accommodate a lot of people's needs, but your mileage may vary. Okay, so with that, we're gonna start at the front. So as you put this down, if the outside zipper is away from you, we're gonna move back through the organization. On that front panel, you have two mesh guides, which I have used to secure in one, my MacBook Pro charger, and then the other, my thin notebook for note keeping. These two elastic bits are great, and again, there's plenty of dimension in here, so they work really well. Now, in the space between that and the middle divider, I've actually been able to put my DJI Pocket 2, which is something I always like to have with me, and keeping it in this tech case is actually kind of convenient and works really well, especially if I turn it into sling mode. So knowing that it's also big enough to fit something like a Pocket 2, even the Pocket 3 or an action camera is really nice. On the middle divider, you have a zippered guide that faces the front, and in there is some little organization spots, but for me, I've been putting my SD card case just kind of laying in here because if I'm taking my DJI Pocket 2, then I want to make sure I have some extra SD cards for it and just in general, but there is some minimal organization that is built in to this zippered compartment. On that middle divider, you have a magnetic closure. Now for me, this has been really nice to keep a pencil and a pen because when I'm doing notes and doing note keeping, they're kind of close to each other and it doesn't take a lot of effort at all to put the pens and pencils in that middle divider instead. Now on the other side of that, you have two smaller mesh guides, one of which I've been putting my SSD and micro USB-C to USB-C cable for my MacBook, and then the other one is just the cable to my iPhone fast charger. Because in the space between, that is where I've just been putting my speedy lightning brick to charge my phone faster, and then that leads into the back compartment, which is not Velcro, but is very soft fleece lined or felt lined, which is where I've been putting my extra charging cables that I might need when I'm out and about. The only thing I don't like about this back compartment is for someone like me, I put these little like strap stays and they're Velcro. So in this compartment, because of this material, these stick and sometimes can be a little bit of a pain to pull out. And on top of that, I'm also worried about like pulling some of that fabric and leaving those little threads, which is kind of a bummer because though it's a minor complaint, I really like using these Velcro strap stays because they do a really good job. And at first I thought maybe they would like kind of stay in place and work really well, but ripping them out has kind of made it hard to use them. So if you don't use strap stays that are Velcro or have any Velcro items that would be going in this back one, then you'd probably be fine. But for me, it's been a little inconvenient, but again, it's more of a personal problem than anything. And the only other problem I have with this tech kit is this is the one where I feel like it should have some more organization, because ultimately what you get are 4 mesh guides, a very thin magnetic closure in the middle, a little spot to put like maybe SD cards that's covered by a zipper, and then just like one big flap. Whereas I felt like in the other one, you've got a lot of organization, but you couldn't utilize it because of the size. I feel like this one has the size, but doesn't have as much organization as for once I would actually like. But overall, even with the lack of extra organization, it does a really good job of holding a variety of items with also not being too beefy. I like the fact that even when you fully pack this out, it doesn't feel like it's getting weird shapes, it doesn't feel bloated, and it definitely doesn't feel overpacked, which for me, I really, really like because I like to bring a lot of tech gear. And if you want to bring a lot of tech gear, then this is one of the few that I think can really accomplish that job with also offering some extra additional features like a handle, an outside pocket, the ability to turn it into sling mode, on top of having just really solid materials, which is something Alpaca is really good at. So with all of that being said, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about the Alpaca Elements Tech Case Max, let me know in the down below in the comments and I'll do my very best to answer this for you. Thank you guys again so very much for all the love and support. It means the absolute world to me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and all of that wonderful nonsense. And also, I will see you next time. Okay, listen, it's no surprise that Western Rise is one of my favorite clothing brands. And right now with discount code ODIE, that's ODIE, you can get 15% off your order. Now, personally, I'm a big fan of their like Evolution pants, which are just a great lightweight material that are good for everyday use, lounging around the house, walking your dog, or whatever it might be. These are especially good for travel, and I really like to partner these with their Henleys. I'm a big fan of Henleys, and Western Rises are fantastic. They feel great to the touch, but also I'm a big fan of their Versa hat. I mean, realistically, I'm a big fan of everything, but if you want a good, crushable, packable travel hat that can withstand the elements and sweat and working out, lounging around the house, and again, whatever it might be, Western Rise has a huge catalog of wonderful clothing items that are good for any occasion, especially travel and just going out and around about your day. Whether it be that you want comfort, style, or whatever, Western Rise can get you covered. So use discount code ODIE that gets you 15% off. My channel gets a little kickback, which I'm grateful for. But most importantly, you can get your hands on some incredible clothing that I personally use all the time for work, travel, everyday use, and even lounging around the house. So head over to Western Rise and check them out. It'd be greatly appreciated. And thanks for supporting the channel.